Thank you for joining. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. Let me know where you are joining from, guys. Thank you guys. How are you doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday, everyone. How are you doing, guys? Let me know where you are joining from. Thank you, guys. How are you doing, guys? Thank you. Thank you for the like. Let's like the live. Thank you also for the likes. Thank you guys for the love emojis. Thank you guys. Happy Monday, everyone. How are you doing, guys? Thank you also for voting. How are you doing this great Monday, guys? This is Oaks Adventures coming all the way from Kenya, guys. And hope, guys, you're doing very fine this good Tuesday. You can, if this is your first time, kindly consider subscribing. If you have subscribed, you can also contribute to our today's topic. Yeah, it's all about wow, this is amazing. Do you believe vulgar language should be used, should be punishable? Do you believe that's our topic today? Do you believe that vulgar language should be punishable? I can see 67% are saying yes and 33% are saying no. Let me know, guys, the reasons why you believe that the use of the vulgar language should or should not be punishable. Yeah, is using a vulgar language a sin? That's our question today, guys. Is using a vulgar language a sin? Let me know your view. Let me know your perspective. And guys, I'm going to appreciate if this is your first time, kindly consider subscribing. Thank you, guys. Let's keep on voting. Let me know your view, your perspective. And guys, I'm going to appreciate also, guys, let me know where you are coming from my side. I'm coming all the way from Kenya, guys. And thank you guys with a lot of love for always joining and for always supporting this platform, guys. So let's keep on voting. Also, let me know, you can tell us where you are coming from via our chat section, guys. and I'm going to, you know, I'm going, guys, to appreciate. I'm going to appreciate. I have a little bit of code, but everything, guys, is under control. So let me know your view. Let me know your view. There are those people that there are those people that always say that the use of vulgar language should not be punished. Yeah, if someone is using vulgar language, there are those can argue that we don't really need to punish, the individual or the persons using the language. And there are those that always believe that the use of the vulgar language is something that should be punishable. Is something that should be punishable. So we really want to understand, uh, if the use of vulgar language should be punishable, and if you know and how different religions always view the aspect of vulgar language, the aspect of vulgar language. And I think this one is going to give us a clear thought or a clear line. Thank you so much for voting. Thank you so much for voting. Let's keep on voting, guys, so we are going to get a clear picture of uh, of whether we should be punished for using vulgar language, or we should not be punished, guys. So it's very, very fundamental for us to understand on the limits, on the use of our, on the use of our language, and if it can be punished by the law or if it cannot be punished. Generally, when we talk about vulgar language, this is where we always say that someone has used vulgar language, especially when they apply some of the key phrases, that might appear to us to be crude, that might appear to us to be offensive, and in most cases, maybe some of the statement that we may see, that we may perceive to be inappropriate. So when someone uses such type of words, we can always suggest that they are using what we are calling the vulgar language. Though different societies have different ways of defining how vulgar language, the limit of vulgar language, uh, because there are some societies that really believe, that the use of some words is something like a taboo, you see. So if maybe probably you use some of the keywords, it may be perceived that maybe you are using some of the keywords that are taboo. However, it is also based on the groups, because there are some groups, that their means of communication is all about using some of those vulgar language or vulgar words that someone else might perceive, to be very, very crude or very, very cruel, but onto them, it's more of their culture, it's more of their mode of communication. Yeah. And this, at the end of the day, it now leaves us with a question where the balance should lie when we come to the use of some of the keywords. So express taboo is one of the key ways in which the application and the use of vulgar language is always seen. The other issue is all about the socially offensive. There are some of the keywords that you might use, and then you are seen as if you are socially offensive. maybe you are offending some people, but to some other people it's just okay. You see, so then we have what we call the interference with the communication. This is where maybe you might use some words and someone might just say, you know what, you are just trying to divert the real language on how some of the keywords should be used. And therefore, let me know if maybe from your region, if vulgar language is seen as a sin or it's not seen as a sin. However, let me just say this, that most religion, they always consider the use of vulgar language to be something that is seen as a sin, you know, because some of the keywords are seen to be harmful, some of the keywords are seen to be disrespectful, some words are, you know, they are also seen to be corrupt, when we compare them with the text, either maybe from the biblical text or maybe from the other texts, from other religion like the Islamic text. And if they are seen to be things that maybe, uh, to be words that are maybe diverting the real aspect of the region, then at the end of the day, those words can always be seen to be a sin. And some of the keywords, they are also linked to, to be taken maybe God's word in vain, based on the context on how they are used. A very good, a very good example of what can I say? One of the key vulgar language that I have always seen, and which is highly disputed by the Christian, in consideration that I'm a Christian, is the you know is the real application, or maybe the real the real application of the word sex. See, this is a very, very contravening topic. This is whereby you see most of the Christians, maybe from my local areas or from the Christians, most of the Christians that I know, uh, you see, like saying issues about sex and sexuality, they are so confined in such a way that they are just used during specific events. And therefore, maybe when you keep using the words maybe in different platforms, it's always seen as if it's going against the God's word. I don't know why it's always seen to be a vulgar word, yeah, especially when it is used, in quotes outside maybe the church setting. But it's always seen to be something that is very, very annoying and something that is not really, really, praising the Lord, something of such. From the Christian perspective, the book of Proverbs and New Testaments, they highly discourage the false talk, stating that the abundant of the heart and the mouth speaks that no unwholesome and should come out of the one mouth. So this is a clear indication that according to the Bible, vulgar language is something, yeah, vulgar language is something that is prohibited and should not come out, maybe out your mouth. See, so this is something that is highly, highly discouraged by the Bible, whereby the book of this is according to the Christian perspective. There are some of the keywords that should not come out of our own mouths, and maybe when they come out of our own mouth, they are always linked that they have come from our own heart. See, and therefore, according to the Bible, the mouth is perceived to be speaking what the heart contemplates, and therefore, if maybe probably you are spitting out, some of the vulgar languages, or some of the vulgar words, then at the end of the day, you are always perceived to be going against God's word. The other issue is all about a prohibition in such a way that some of the key vulgar language, they are always linked as if, they are taking God's name God's name on sake, and this one really amounts to what we call the blasphemy. You see, and this is well recorded in the book of Exodus 20:17. This is where God's name, the Lord's name should not be taken in vain. See? So sometimes maybe when we just talk some of the keywords that maybe we hear with people without even understanding their meaning, you never know, you know. Aria, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I'm listening. Thank you. Thank you with a lot of love. Thank you with a lot of love. Thank you also for voting. Okay, okay. Thank you so much for voting. Yeah. So some of the keywords, especially when we talk them out without maybe even understanding the real meaning of them, then at the end of the day, we might be seen, from the Christian view that maybe we are just taking God's work just in vain. The other thing is we are always told that we should always look on why. This is where it's always emphasized that each and every word that we talk, we are able to explain why did we use that word. This is from the biblical context. Why did we use that word? Which was the intent? Why did we maybe? Which was our intention towards using that word? Did it cause harm? Those are some of the key questions that we should always ask ourselves, especially if maybe you are a Christian. Did those words that you used maybe amounted to causing someone's harm? Psalms 23 verse 14. Let me look at it, Aria. Let me look at it. So from the Christian's point of view, we must also be able to understand. I can't see Psalms 23 verse 6. I don't think we have Psalms 23 verse 14. There is no Psalms 23, but the final verse should be Psalms 23 verse 6. Yeah. Yeah, the last one should be verse 6. Psalms 23 verse 6. And this is what it says: surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That's what it says. Aria, thank you so much for, yeah. So guys, we must also be able, from the Christian view, we must also be able to understand why. Why do we use those words? Did we really understand the real interpretation? Did those words maybe degrade someone? Did they cause slander? Did they cause harm? And the moment we are able to understand why, or maybe the moment we are able to interpret why, then thank you. Let me look at Proverbs 2 verse 6. Let me look at Proverbs 2 verse 6. For the Lord gives wisdom. Very, very good. Aria, are you a Kenyan? Yes, I'm a Kenyan. And thank you so much for Proverbs 2 verse 6. Proverbs 2 verse 6. Yeah. Aria, very, very correct. Proverbs 2 verse 6. For it says, for the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. Hello sir, please can you help me with 2K to pay rent? I have been stuck. Wow, this is Juria Mwamburi, guys. Uh, that's so good, eh? Aria, that's so good. Julius Mwamburi. Wow, just drinking water. Guys, if someone is in a position to assist our brother Julius Maburi, uh, maybe guys we can just say here on chat. And I think Julius, unfortunately, on my side now, I don't think I can be able to, you know, to sort you out. But I hope that everything shall be fine. So, guys, that's the Christian view, you know. And Aria just gave us a very good verse. Yeah. She gave us a very good verse, Proverbs 2 verse 6. For everything that we speak, the Lord always gives us wisdom, and what comes out of our own mouth is all about knowledge and understanding. Wow, that's so amazing, eh? Knowledge and understanding. Thank you so much, Aria, for that good verse. Just drinking water. I like water. Wow, amazing. So let's now see about the Islams. Thank you so much for the votes. Islam also sees the use of vulgar language to be something that, thank you so much, with a lot of love for liking and for always subscribing. Wow, amazing. May God bless you, Aliyah. This is also what the Islam says. The Islams also see, the use of vulgar language to something that is, to be something that is insulting, to be something that is seen as a sin. What's your favorite hobby? Traveling and making some exploration here and there. Yeah. Area traveling and making some explorations here. So similarly, from the Islamic point of view, Islam's also consider, the use of vulgar language to be something that is insulting, to be something that is seen as a sin, and at the end of the day, it is something that is seen to be contrary, to the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. Wow, that's so good. Yeah, I think here the Christianity view about the use of vulgar language, as well as the use of, as well as the Islamic faith, they are really marrying in terms of having the same thought. And another thing that I have learned about the Muslims, hi, you can pin my number in my screen, sir, please. The problem is once I pin it, you see the moderators. They always have the tendency of putting down any number. You cannot pin. This one is not like maybe the other platforms like the TikTok. You cannot pin the email address of someone or maybe the number of someone. Yeah. Maybe you can give, even when you are batching out your number, you should maybe giving out maybe in 3 digits, maybe 0721, and then you stop, then that way, so that maybe when you do that, maybe I can be able to read it maybe to the others, but I can't pin it. Even when you just maybe said it, they are just going to hide from the other users. That's what really happens, especially when you pin maybe someone's number or maybe their email address. Yeah, that is it, guys. The other issue. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aria Arts. The other aspect that is always the other aspect that is always seen the other aspect that is always seen, especially when we talk about Ariat, I was really looking for your platform, but I think you don't have a platform. I could have also supported you. Thank you so much, and everyone else. Yeah, Julius, that's what really happens. Yeah, that's what really happens. So it's unfortunate, but if I was in that position to do so, I could have maybe pinned the number. Yeah. Also, when you use vulgar language and maybe you are an Islam, it also shows maybe the sign of a bad character. This is where maybe bad language, or what we are calling the vulgar language. Can you call my Lazacus? That's my real name. Okay, I will. L- Laza Cruz. Yeah, Laza Cruz. Okay, it has gotten into my head, Laza Cruz. Thank you so much. So when you use also vulgar language from the Islamic faith, it is also seen as sign of bad character, and it is also prohibited, guys. And you see, when it's seen as a sign of bad character, it just tells you maybe you are not doing it right and you need to reconsider your position in using maybe the language that is inappropriate according to the Islamic faith. The other issue, and I agree with them, I agree with the Islamic faith, when someone uses vulgar language, it's highly discouraged, in such a way that Muslims are very, very strict, especially when it comes to the issue of good manners. Yeah. So when you are using vulgar language, this is just a sign that you have bad manners, and it's always said that Islamic teachings places a high value on good manners and speech that is uplifting rather than. Do you also have a Quran? I don't have one. But I would really love to have some text whereby maybe I can be able to read. Maybe, yeah, maybe from Quran, suggesting about the use of vulgar language. Oh, that's so good, eh? That's so good. That's so very, very good. Wow, then you must be very, very keen, especially when it comes maybe to the language use. You see, most of us, most of the people that I have met, they even have Bibles, but they do not read the Bibles for the Christians. See? But if you hear, yeah, poor. But if you hear someone, reading Quran, reading uh, maybe their Bible, I think that's a sign of good faith. They really have a detailed information about maybe some of the key information that is vital for the survival. Similarly, when we come to the Jewish perspective, you see, uh, Jewish perspective also have the same notion that the use of vulgar language is something. Wow, thank you. Bashir, how are you doing today, Bashir? Who has made you to be, who has made you, Bashir, to be such a to have such a very very bad, you you are telling me to shut out. Okay, no problem, Bashir. You see now, uh, this is now the platform that I always talk each and every day. So I can't, yeah. So I can't. I'm still going to talk. That's the thing. I have a Bible. The Quran is from my friend who is a Muslim. Wow, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. Eh? Bishal Ahmed. Bishal Ahmed. Bishal Ahmed. There is no need to use harsh words because today we are really even talking about the use of vulgar language. Yeah? Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to support your idea. I'm still going to continue. I think someone just made him, you know, uh, just maybe made his day to be very dull, and this really happens mostly in these platforms where maybe you talk and someone just comes just from nowhere and they just say, oh, you know what, you are talking this, you are talking that. But at the end of the day, we you know we don't mind when we are criticized, but it's okay. So the same thing, the Jewish traditions also argues that the use of vulgar language is something that is harmful and can affect the soul. See, that's also so amazing, eh? That's also so amazing. And from the Jewish perspective, we are also told that we should be able to guard our tongue. We should be able to guard our tongue. And I think this one is well linked with what we saw from the Bible. This is where we should be able to guard our tongue, as it is considered as a key step towards spiritual improvement and a way of ensuring that our spiritual degradation is not realized, guys. So now, based on this understanding, do you believe that vulgar language should be, the use of vulgar language should be punished? That's the question that we have. Yeah, in some some people say yes, other people say no, and why when we continue using some of these vulgar language, we should be punished. Some people always say that when we use vulgar language, we really do not promote what we may call respectful environment. Yeah. This is where banning offensive language is seen essential to ensure maybe we foster for a positive social environment. Can you show your Bible? Wow, I'm in my workplace, so I didn't have it here, but I have my soft copy. Yeah, but I always have my soft copy. The other reason why we should, why we should, why the use of offensive language should also be punishable. It's because we are, we should be focused on preventing offensive and alienation. Yeah. Also, we really need to ensure that we punish anyone that is using vulgar language as a way of ensuring that we avoid what we call the interpersonal conflict. This is where we really want to ensure that people do not emerge to be disrespectful to others. We also want people not to be insulting others in a manner that is not intended to harm others. Also, the use of vulgar language, as we all know, it's a language that is really linked, to ensuring that vulnerable individuals, are always victimized. And as a way of showing some good faith, the language should be banned as a way of ensuring that that kind of a hostile environment, the hostility environment, is really prevented, and in the process, we create a safer hostile environment. And I think, as a Kenyan, I think I have always seen people always, have the implication of the use of vulgar language, especially when we come to vulnerable individuals. I remember there was a time that someone was sick, and everyone was just doing a challenge, trying to mock them, and in the process, uh, to me, it really emerged as if they were trying, to create just a scene out of nothing. And you see, in the process, they were all trying to create what we may call a hostile environment. The same thing with kids. Imagine maybe you have your neighbor or maybe mentor, because in our societies today, we are really having a lot of kids that maybe are having some mental challenges. And each and every time when maybe we use vulgar language against them, we are more like trying to victimize, yeah, on the way they should be able to see life, you see. And maybe we are really trying to capitalize on their weaknesses, just to keep on victimizing them. And therefore, there is need also to ensure that we protect such type of lives, and we can only do this by ensuring that those individuals are protected by having strong stringent measures, yeah, strong laws, that would always ensure that emotionally they are protected, yeah, emotionally they are protected. So that's another key reasons, and I think that reason is very valid, especially when it comes to the issue of ensuring that we have kids, or maybe we have individuals that feel that the emotional wellness is always protected. We also, the use of vulgar language is also advocated to be punished, to be punishable, in the essence that we really want to maintain what we may call severity and social order. Severity and social order. This is where maybe we really, as a society, we really want to maintain a certain kind of a standard, especially when we look at the way our society should interact, the way our society maybe should look at individuals, maybe the way our society, the way maybe the way our men should be able to talk to our ladies, see, victimized ladies, yeah. through maybe altering some of the keywords that they may feel that they of social decay, which is really deteriorating, and which is really making us to move maybe in those bad old days when we didn't value each and every life. So there is need for us to keep on ensuring that severity and social order is maintained at the highest level possible. Also, also when we punish, also when we punish people that are using vulgar language, especially in some professionals, I think this is just a clear way of saying, you know what, guys, we really need to maintain what we may call professionalism. You see, this is where teachers, this is where teachers should use the best language, especially when attending to kids. This is where the policemen, yeah, for every Kenyan who is here, they can always testify that there is need even for our social justice system, like the policemen, or maybe, yeah, like the policemen, or even the judicial system, to ensure that even if you are a suspect, you should be advocated and you should be directed using the professional language. Yeah, but I remember during those old days, when the police would always harass people, on the streets, and they would always call them all sorts of vulgar language, all sorts of manner of words, and this would even, even affect their client negatively. Yeah, and it would always emerge that even those clients that maybe they were innocent, they would even end up in jail, because at the end of the day, when they talk, they always know that the judicial system is so discriminating against them, and anytime, any day, when they talk, the police would always use very tough words. You see, and even they would not even have this kind of end up maybe in jails, even when they are innocent. But I really love the current police regime and the way, I think we are having a kind of a progress, especially when you meet the young police that we are having today, because most of them, I think their constitution is changing with time, you see, because at the end of the day, they really understand some key fundamentals of our constitution in such a way that even when you interacting with them, they can be able to understand that these are the limits, this is how I should maybe handle this person with dignity, and for me to maintain my work as well as my professionalism, where you see you are a patient, you are a patient, maybe you are ailing, but at the end of the day, the way you are being handled by maybe a certain professional, you just see that this one is just not the standard that you really expected, you see. Because at the end of the day, even for your emotional wellness, for your mental wellness, or even your physical wellness, you really need someone who really meant, and you started with a lot of negativity because of the way you are harassed. I think things will always go south at some point, and at the end of the day, you always have to keep on regretting on maybe why you met a certain professional. I believe even our teachers nowadays have altered the way they handle our students, you see, because I remember during those days, for those guys that maybe are the millennials, yeah, like me, they would always agree that during those days, especially when you used to be in our villages, teachers used to mishandle us with a lot of vulgar language. Yeah, you could even hear a teacher maybe calling you a cow because maybe you are not trying to get some key concepts, maybe that are linked with a certain subject. And this one, at the end of the day, instead of this person handling their job as a professional, they are really discouraging you. and at the end of the day you would feel that maybe you are not in that place where you need to be. The other one is when we really reinforce on the aspect maybe of punishing those guys or those people that are using vulgar language. This is a way of ensuring that we eliminate a lot of harassment and discrimination that are always realized within our organization settings. And I think this one is very, very fundamental because most of the organizations, when vulgar language is used, and maybe you are just a new employee in that firm or in that company, you always feel that I think I'm not in the right place. Yeah, but when sweet words are used, you see, when sweet words are used, you just feel that I think I'm ready to work with this organization. I think I'm ready to advance in this organization. I think this is the best organizations where maybe I can be able, to nurture my dream. This is the best organization maybe where I can be able, to showcase my strength. You see, all those things. But when negative language is always used by your boss, you see, each and every time your boss is using that and this word that you perceive to be very, very negative, at the end of the day, the entire arithmetic becomes so negative in such a way that you always feel that that working environment, it is a toxic one. But at the end of the day, even our employees or even our employers, need to understand that the use of vulgar language can really or highly demotivate even the employees that they have. And this as well as project on on what we call the attrition rate. This is where most of the workers or most of the employees are able to move out of that organization because they always feel that this environment is very, very toxic in such a way that even the dreams or the aspirations that I really wanted to harness within this organization, I think they cannot be viable. The other reason why it's advocated that people should, that people that use vulgar language should be punished is all about the essence of ensuring that we foster on effective communication. Guys, you always know that communication is very, very key. You see? And even when we are communicating, when I use a certain vulgar language, what really happens is like your mind is blocked. See, you cannot see anything positive beyond that person who is talking, apart from the negative language that that person is using. See, and then at the end of the day, we cannot even have what we may call a fruitful or a very clear kind of a communication. And this one now overall, he does what we may call effective or what we call clear communication. And this one is very, very key, especially to people, especially when maybe you are having a very, very critical topic, but especially when it comes to the issue of leadership, because I always say that when we have positive leadership, you see, where where we really want to create what we may call a positive leadership within our social settings, then the first element that should be there is all about using language with clarity. You see, but the reason why most of us that we are at a point where maybe we cannot even be able to trust our leaders is because of the high, their high negativity and their constant use of negative language. Because when they use that negative language, at the end of the day, it really becomes very, very communication between us and them, it's always blocked, and the moment now that communication is blocked, then it really becomes hard for us to able to have or to even understand on what they are doing. But when they use the right language each and every time with a lot of maturity, then it even becomes very easy for us to reason with them. So those are some of the key reasons why people believe that the use of vulgar language should be punishable. However, there are those that always say, you know what, uh, you know, the use of vulgar language should not be punishable, and some of the key reasons why uh, you know people believe that even when you are using vulgar language, you should not be punished, is because there is this perception that we have what we call the principle or freedom of speech. This is whereby maybe someone might be. This is where someone might argue that maybe they used a certain word because they really wanted to express themselves. See, and maybe without using that word or those words, maybe they could not have expressed maybe their idea. And you see that one under the law is very arguable in such a way that they are being denied maybe their freedom of speech. The other issue is all about some people arguing that when they are maybe desisted, or maybe when they are being prohibited from using maybe the language that may be termed to be vulgar, maybe they see this as being prevented, from being censored, and in the process, they may term the use of language to be subjective, and something that might be seen to be an excess power or to be an excess use of power by maybe the authorities that are in place. The other issue is the issue of honesty and expression. This is where some people say, you see, I used a certain language because I really wanted to project on where our honesty was. I really wanted to express myself in terms of my emotions, and that was the only appropriate. I have always had some of our key leaders, within the parliament or even within the Senate, trying to justify on why maybe they used some of the key inappropriate words, and you'd always hear their speaker say, that word was very unparliamentary and it was very inappropriate, but they would always say, you see what, that was the closest term that I could have only used as a way of justifying or maybe trying to bring out my idea in a bigger picture so that maybe people could have understood what I was saying. And I think under the law, that one is something that that is acceptable and something that can be argued from that point of view. The other issue why people believe that even if you use vulgar language you should not be punished, other people say that when they use those words, their pain is always relieved, and maybe their stress. I have seen so many platforms, especially here on YouTube, with some people, saying, when I use a certain language, I'm able to relieve my stress. You see, when maybe I listen to a certain blog, or maybe I listen to a certain YouTuber, maybe uh, the the art of the language that they use is always a stress and a pain reliever, and there is nothing that I can do to that. I'm always addicted maybe to a certain kind of a language, and I feel okay with it. And therefore, there are some people that might argue that this one is always the easiest way of relieving their stress. Other people might also say, you know what, this is the way we communicate. You see, guys, things have really changed. Like now we have the Gen Zs, see, and the language that they are using, especially the Sheng language, is always a complex one. Now you can see the magnitude of the amplification of that language, maybe to the next generation, like the Gen Alphas. You see, at the end of the day, for them to connect, there are some of the keywords that you might listen and you just say, according to me, I think this one is a vulgar language. But to them, as I said before, as I started, I think that the kind of a language that they use, at the end of the day, they board. See? And in the process of boarding, they are able to communicate using that language. But for some people, they might say, you know what, I think this language is a little bit complex. I think the language is very, very inappropriate. And I think the language is not legitimate with what I believe, maybe from my belief or from my community, or maybe even from my religious background, or maybe from my from my from my religion point of view. The other issue is all about some autonomy, or the ability to listen and the ability to communicate. This is where maybe when you tell people, you know what, you should not be able to, you should not use this language, you should not use that language. In essence, some people might see as if you are really trying to alienate what we may call autonomy. Yeah. This is where we always say, for someone to be autonomous and for someone to think in a very straight way, they should be able to choose their language without any form of interference, and the responsibility of how one reacts to that language primarily lies with the listener. You see, so anytime maybe you might limit that person to use a certain language for them that they feel this is the best language, they might always say, you know what, you are really trying to limit them in terms of the autonomy. So guys, I think that's all that I had today. I really want to thank each and everyone for always coming and for always being part and parcel of today's live. Thank you so much, guys. See, thank you. Wow, it's raining, guys. It's raining. I don't know. The crowds are very, very clear, but here the lanes are here, guys. So thank you so much, guys, for always voting. And I can see we are almost 50-50. Do you believe vulgar language should be used? Do you believe that vulgar language use should be punishable? That should be the correct way to say it. Do you believe that vulgar language use should be punishable? And according to the results that I have, yes are saying 57% are saying yes, and no, we have about 47%. No, we are having about 47%. And today, guys, we really had a lot of a rich understanding about why some people believe that it's right for them to use what we may call some vulgar language, and for some people, vulgar language is very okay to use. We have also understood. Sorry for taking too long. Wow, thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back. That's so amazing, eh? That's very amazing. Thank you for always joining, guys. I always tell people, you know what, without your support, guys, it would all be in vain. But each and every time, guys, you come and you support, I always feel appreciated with a lot of love, guys. With a lot of love. Thank you, guys, for everyone that made it successful for today's live. I have seen that 57% are saying, you know what, vulgar language, the use of vulgar language is something that should be saying, you know what, even if vulgar language. Loleto Moeta, how are you doing today? I don't know why my podcast started buffering when sorry guys, I think my Wi-Fi is buffering. I don't know. Thank you guys for always coming, for always voting. Let's meet tomorrow, same place, same time. Everyone else, everyone that made this life success, thank you so much, and may God bless you. May Allah bless you guys. And let's meet tomorrow, same place, same time. And may you have an amazing time with a lot of love. If it's morning from your side, may you have a good morning. If it's afternoon, may you have a very beautiful day. And if it's an evening, just like me from this side of Sahara, may we have good time, good evening. And thank you guys so much. Time with a lot of love. And